Attention, stations on the network. Our broadcast will begin in 10 minutes from my mark. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. That was your 10-minute time check, stations. Attention, stations on the network. Our broadcast will begin in 5 minutes from my mark. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. That was your 5-minute time check, stations. Attention, stations on the network. Our broadcast will begin in 2 minutes from my mark. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. That was your 2-minute time check, stations. Attention, stations on the network. Our broadcast will begin in 1 minute from my mark. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. That was your 1-minute time check, stations.
On the Bobcat Sports Network from Learfield, this is Cat Chat with head football coach Brent Vigen. Brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings, the official home of Cat Chat, every Wednesday night at 6:30. Now, here's your host, the voice of the Bobcats, Keaton Gillogly.
All right, hello, and welcome live from Buffalo Wild Wings. I'm Keaton Gillogly alongside head coach Brent Vigen. First of all, everybody can hear us all right? Sounding clean, sounding good? Ready to rock? All right, love to hear that as we are again live at Buffalo Wild Wings for another edition of Cat Chat. All right, our player guests today are Colson, Coon, and Paul Brott. They will be joining us in just a little bit, so excited to talk to those guys today. Volleyball is home this weekend for the first time in a month. They've been on the road basically all year, so they're coming home and opening up Big Sky play on Thursday at Sacramento State, and then they are home on Saturday at 7 o'clock against Northern Arizona. We talked to Coach Matt Houck on the podcast this week if you want to catch up on what they're doing, but excited to see them get into conference play. But the football squad, the Bobcats are 4-0 as non-conference play has wrapped up. Yes, sir. That deserves a round of applause, and we are ready to get into conference play along with head coach Brent Vigen. Coach, how we doing? How we feeling?
Good, yeah. It's exciting to move on from the non-conference schedule and into conference play. Feel good about where we're at this point, but really excited about the challenge in front of us week after week within our conference. I think our conference is, top to bottom, you got to be ready to go every week, and we start on the road going to Idaho State, so excited about this opportunity. Yeah,
much improved Idaho State team over the last couple of years. They've been looking good in the non-conference. That's a 4 o'clock kickoff. We're going to be on the air at 3 o'clock for that. We'll dive more into Idaho State in a bit, but weather's been great. Not quite as much of a nip of fall early in the morning during practice this week?
No, this is something. So we'll take it while we get it. I know I got sunburn on Saturday. Got to remind myself to wear a hat on days like that. But, no, it's been great this week so far. And all that being said, we get to go play in a dome.
Yeah, well, at least it means that drive down to Pocatello will be nice and clean because that can get pretty sketchy there with the snow once wintertime comes. All right, well, let's dive into some things. I wanted to follow up on one of the technology things. You guys have the iPads now on the sideline. That was new this year, 4 games in. How's it been to have those iPads on the sideline?
I think it's been good. Our staff and our players alike have utilized them in between series. So it's not exactly real time, but pretty dang close. And then being able to go back at halftime, and as our staff collaborates, guys come down from the box and just go through a few things. I think what it's done is, before any time, you'd have plenty of questions. You look for feedback. You get eyes in the box. You have players on the field. You got eyes on the sideline. Rarely did everybody see the same thing. So now, by virtue of replay, everybody has to see the same thing. And it's not an advantage we have over the other team. The other team has the same technology, but it. I hope it's cleaned up play to some degree. I know it. Mistakes will happen in the game of football, but the sooner you identify them and you can communicate about it, you can teach off it, the cleaner the game can get.
Yeah, well, I imagine too, like there are times where you're like, no, I saw this. The player thought he saw something else. You guys are on the sideline in the heat of the moment. To be able to just have the answer, it's got to be kind of relieving. You can just move on to what actually happened.
Yeah, for sure. I think it just allows players to be coached better, and players to be, responsive to, hey, you know what, I didn't get my job done there, but now I know why, and I can go do it right the next time, I guess. Because there would be a lot of mysteries, honestly, as you'd go through a game and you'd watch it, whether it's on the way home or the next day or whatever. Mysteries, abound through a football game, and it's really eliminated that part. And I think, like I said, our staff and our players alike have done a really good job utilizing it to this point. And I'm sure as these games get tighter and tighter, it'll be a bigger deal.
Yeah, just one of those little things, one of those little nuances that changed this year on the sideline. All right, let's talk a little bit about this Mercyhurst game. Bobcats getting the win against the Lakers in their first year as a D1 program. But overall, I thought they came out hard, hungry, well coached. They played pretty cleanly. I thought they really delivered a quality opponent in this game, considering they're just moving up.
Yeah, and they're a scholarship program. I know it's hard to work. Where's a Division II team that's moving up fit? They have guys that are on scholarship, and they've been able to add to their scholarships. They competed well in the previous 2 weeks, I think, against two very solid programs in Howard and Robert Morris. So, I think we expected that, and I know they had a quarterback that was capable of making plays. They had some threats on the offensive side, and I thought we did a really good job of bottling him up for the most part. Defensively, I think they did enough things in that first quarter, and we got in our own way a little bit, but, credit goes to them that, it wasn't just a free-for-all by any means. We had to earn some things on the offensive side, and, I like the fact that it was a little bit of a struggle, honestly, and I think we really broke through in all three phases in that second quarter and obviously opened up the lead. But, give credit to Mercyhurst. They fought all the way through. I mean, they were using all their timeouts at the end, and I don't know if I'd ever get home. But anyways, credit to them, and wish them the best this season.
Yeah, and we'll be following along because we're going to see him here again next year in the non-conference as well. A couple of kind of interesting notes I thought in this game, kind of twofold, especially when we talk about just balanced football. First of all, you all scored 7 touchdowns in this game. 7 different Bobcats scored a touchdown in this game, which is pretty cool. The other part was Malott. He threw 3 touchdown passes, which tied his career high. But he threw 1 to a wide receiver, 1 to a running back, and 1 to a tight end. And when you kind of look at that body of work, it's got to make you feel good with that kind of balance.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we got a lot of guys that are capable of making plays. I think, first of all, that speaks to all the guys scoring touchdowns. But then in the passing game, we would like to utilize all our position groups that can catch it. Receivers, starting with receivers, but tight ends as well, and then the running backs. So the fact that it played out that way, I think, is a reflection of what we're aiming to do. Spread the ball around, get the ball in the variety of playmakers we have, and see what they can do.
Yeah, Adam Jones obviously had one of the most electric plays in this game, that 50-yard catch and run down the right sideline. I thought it was, fun to watch his speed, but it was also interesting to see the wide receivers. They had to kind of back off and not commit a block there, otherwise it would have been a block in the back, and he just sprinted through it and was all the way across the goal line. It was fun to watch.
Yeah, when you cut back all the way across the field like he did, that's turning those defenders around. I know Taco Dollar in particular, he hustled his tail off, and not that Adam necessarily needed it, but it was great to see Taco hustle and run like he did if he needed him, I guess. So, nifty running by Adam, and it was a really good throw by Tommy. Hit him in stride, and I think he's becoming more and more of a threat in the passing game, Adam is.
Yeah, and Malott continued to be a threat in the passing game as well. He's over 70% in his completion percentage right now. Made a lot of different types of throws in this game. Are there any particular throws that he's currently making that you felt like he wasn't making last year, or maybe just didn't even have the opportunity to?
Well, maybe that's just it. I think there's been more short throws, quick throws. We're just doing that more, and he's been very efficient, whether it's hitches, quick outs, slants, those type of things. He's hitting those at a high rate, seeing things really well, and he's been very decisive, I think, in for the most part. So, and I think just his ability to hang in there, hang in the pocket. I know a couple of those throws on Saturday were that type where in the past he maybe would have already taken off. So he's done a good job through 4 games, I think, continuing to develop that side of his game, and we're going to need it as we go through. We're going to need his legs from time to time, but ultimately, his arm's going to have a big impact on our success.
Yeah. You mentioned Taco Dollar there, and obviously had the touchdown reception, which was his first career touchdown reception to go along with his punt returns. But you kind of mentioned it on Monday talking to the press that you were really happy with what he was able to do, just catching some of those footballs. Break it down for us a little bit. What are you seeing? I mean, because being great in the punt game and punt return game is not just returning for touchdowns. So just what you're seeing in him making decisions to save you guys some of those yards.
Yeah, it's making decisions. It's being able to judge the football, and he's phenomenal. I think in those aspects. I mean, so it's one thing for him to be able to return the ball, but to save the yardage, the ball that from time to time in the past when he hasn't been out there, honestly, that hits the ground and bounces forever, and all of a sudden you've lost 15, 20 yards. That's hard, and I think that's happened, often enough when he hasn't been our guy returning, that when you have him out there, it's like, the yards he saves just playing the ball is significant. I know the one that he he didn't judge very well, but he covered a lot of ground to go get it from one hash to almost the opposite numbers, but then he was able to get back and get 15 yards. I mean, that is significant when you take a season, and hopefully we have him all 12 games, the yards he saves and just his ability to field the football, it's a lot.
Yeah.
I know that, and his ability to catch the ball in traffic. He had one where, they'd taken, I think, Taden Gray right back into his lap on a fair catch. I mean, just to be fearless enough to trust yourself to make that play. I think the value he brings at the end of those punts is. It's hard to quantify.
Right. Well, I mean, yeah, if you let a ball bounce by you and it rolls an extra 10 yards, but instead he catches it and returns it for 10 yards, you're talking about starting 20 yards further down the field. You're talking about the difference between the 20-yard line and the 40-yard line. That's a massive difference. Yeah,
and we should probably keep track of how many yards he saves. Honestly, I think it would. 4 games in to this point. He's really changed field position consistently every time he goes out there in some facet.
All right. We're going to take a break, but we're going to be doing another giveaway. We got some great stuff for you, so we're going to be giving away some more Bobcat gear during the break, so make sure you got your raffle ticket. And if you don't have a raffle ticket, flag Daniel down, and he'll get you one after the break. We also want to remind you that you can enjoy Cat Chat every week here at Buffalo Wild Wings over Wings and Beer at 6:30 p.m., the official radio show of head coach Brent Vigen and Bobcat Athletics. All right, we're taking a break. This is Cat Chat presented by Learfield.
Guys, it's buy one, get one free boneless wings every Thursday at Buffalo Wild Wings, and guess what?
You're gonna be a dad.
What? No, it's Boneless Thursdays, which means free boneless wings.
You'd be a great dad.
Okay, enough.
Buy one, get one free boneless wings every Thursday only at Buffalo Wild Wings. To the greatest of all times. Buy one boneless wings at regular price. Get one of equal value free at participating locations for a limited time. While supplies last. Limit one, not valid with other offers. Size exclusions may apply. Delivery and takeout available at participating locations through Buffalo Wild Wing website or app. Fees, including service fees, may apply.
When I was using, I spent half my time worried about running out of pills and the other half hiding my addiction, hiding from judgment, hiding from everything. I OD'd right there. My pills were laced with fentanyl. Narcan and my son saved my life. He found me and called 911. After that, I got treatment.
Learn more at helpsavelivemt.org. A message from Montana Department of Public Health and Human Services.
Bobcat fans, support both your favorite team and Montana State students. When you shop at MSU bookstores, you help lower the price of course materials for Montana State students. MSU Bookstore is owned by MSU students and faculty and serves as the only not-for-profit campus bookstore in Montana. Shop online at msubookstore.org, at Bobcat Stadium on game days, or on campus in the Strand Union building. Remember, Bobcat fans, when you shop at MSU Bookstore, all proceeds from your purchase go directly to lowering the cost of course materials for Montana State students.
Hey, Bobcat fans. Want to make a real difference in the lives of Montana State student-athletes? The Bobcat Collective is your chance to do just that. By joining as a member or becoming a business partner, you're directly supporting our athletes through NIL opportunities, helping them succeed both on and off the field. Whether you're an individual looking to become a member or a business ready to partner with us, every contribution empowers our Bobcats to reach their full potential. Visit BobcatCollective.com to learn more and sign up today. Together, we can elevate our athletes and the entire Bobcat community. Go Cats, go!
Hey, college football fans, what do you call a game you can't lose? We call it the Conoco Coin Promotion. 250 fans at every Bobcat home game will get a Conoco coin. This coin can be redeemed for free prizes at a participating Conoco station. Watch out for the Conoco Coin Promotion at the next home Bobcat football game and redeem it for free prizes. Conoco, proud sponsor of the Montana State Bobcats.
The roar of the crowd, the thunder of thousands of fans stomping their feet as the Bobcats take the field. For Mary, her chronic hip pain kept her from the thrill of her favorite pastime. Thanks to the revolutionary orthopedic care from Bozeman's local orthopedic groups and the Bozeman Health Spine and Joint Institute, Mary was back on her feet and back in the game. If chronic spine and joint pain is keeping you from the activities you love, start your journey by visiting bozemanhealth.org/SJI.
We are back live at Buffalo Wild Wings for another edition of Cat Chat. We are into Week 5. Big Sky play is here. Idaho State is on tap. First trip for the Cats down to Pocatello since 2018. We remind you that Universal Athletic has been a proud supporter of Bobcat Athletics for over 45 years. Check out their great selection of Bobcat apparel and accessories for all your game day needs. Go Cats. I'm Keaton Gillogly alongside head coach Brent Vigen. We've got Paul Brott and Colson Coon to join us in a little bit, but we're talking about the week that was and getting set for Idaho State. And, Coach, I wanted to ask you a little bit about Ryan King. He had a couple of plays in this game where, A, he had a couple highlight reel plays, and then B, he had a couple of potential Sports Center top 10 plays, that thinking of that ball down the right sideline where he almost pinned it against the defender. But, boy, it's fun watching this young transfer Ryan King coming over.
Yeah, I think he's getting more and more integrated, more comfortable each and every week. He's had a chance to make an impact more and more as all these games have gone along. He's got really good speed. In that particular play, that ball should have been out in front of him. He had to get the defender beat off the line. Tommy underthrew it. He tried to come back over the top of him and took a pretty good spill. But, he's a guy that obviously we got this summer. Was a little bit late as far as adding him in July, but really happy we have him, and he's been a great teammate to this point, and he's got some electric ability that I think is going to certainly make an impact as we go through the season.
Yeah, how'd you find him? Were you guys keeping an eye out for another wide receiver, or was this a guy who just seemed like he had too much talent to pass over?
Well, he was a guy that had been in the transfer portal. When we got done with spring ball, I think it was clear we could take another receiver. And easier said than done. Ryan had to finish his degree at East Carolina through the summer, so I think that maybe kept some people, off his scent, so to speak. The transfer portal a lot of times is about availability. It was going to be a little bit of a work in progress for him. So we had him up at I think it was the end of June on a visit, and things went well enough at that point in time. There wasn't a ton of opportunities coming his way again. He was at Georgia Tech, played more at Georgia Tech than East Carolina. East Carolina, he was hurt, so it just didn't work out for him there. So he was a guy fighting that bat a little bit. Didn't have a lot of film, but what we saw was a guy that I think had a lot of potential, and really liked who he was as a person. And I think we felt like he would fit in, and excited we have him and excited to see where it can go.
Yeah, it's pretty weird. You guys have a lot of pass catchers right now. You got to feel like that room's pretty deep at the moment, yeah?
Yeah, and I think a good variety of guys, too. You got size like Ryan has, quickness like Taco. I think speed like Ty has. Junior's kind of a little bit of everything. So, those four guys that have gotten the primary run to this point, good variety, and I think that we're getting closer to where they got to defend all of them. I think back to a couple years ago when we had Lance. It was great to have a guy like Lance for sure, but the ball really went to him over and over and over again, and I think that changes how defenses look at you. So I think as we continue to evolve, to have four threats for playing consistently like that, I think is good for our offense.
Right. That's not even talking about the tight ends who had a good weekend as well. I want to talk to you about the defense a little bit. This was a great game in terms of pressure. The quarterback, 6 sacks. Brody Grebe, man, he was just a bull rusher in this game. There were times he just ran into the chest of the tackle and ended up at the quarterback. 3 sacks total. This seemed like one of his most impactful games.
Yeah, he was able to, I'd say, tee off, right? I think he knew what he was doing, and those poor tackles, one in particular, he got after. Besides just sacking or going around this guy to sack the quarterback a couple times, he took him back into the quarterback, into his lap a couple times. So we were able to get that pressure that we desired, and it was more than just Brody, but Brody, from a statistical standpoint, had a great day, and he continues to be a major threat as far as that pass rush goes.
Neil Daly also had a big TFL in this game. He looked like, this looked like one of his better games. He just looked really confident and just mindful of where he was at.
Yeah, this is Neil's longest stretch that he's been able to play, and Neil had he's having an evolution, I guess, right? He's getting an opportunity to get some play at linebacker, and he's fully capable of that. Backing up McCade right now at the Mike spot, and then special teams, he's really making an impact as well. He was our special teams player of the week, and he was really as key a participant in that punt block as anyone, just really giving himself up for Ryland to go after it. And then, like you said, the TFL, he can really run. He's got good size. He just hasn't had the ability to be out there for one reason or the other, and now it's happening for him, so it's really great to see.
Yeah, that punt block was fun to watch, and Ryland, man, he for a senior captain playing on special teams, he goes all out. Some of the pictures of him just full extension, man, that's the effort you're looking for.
Yeah, there's a technique to it. We talk about going down to block a ball, not going up, and he just it was textbook. So Ryland has made a lot of special teams plays in his time here. He made his mark initially on special teams, but he's a primary defender now. But to have him out there on that punt block team, that punt block unit, I think is really important to our success, and that was a huge play in that game.
Yeah. Anybody else off the top of your head that maybe is a name we're not super familiar with that's starting to make a mark on special teams? I think that's a hard thing for a lot of maybe fans to kind of see and notice.
Yeah, I think there's a whole host of them. I mentioned Neil. He won that award. It takes for guys to be on a couple different teams. It takes for you to be obviously on the travel roster as well. And the good thing is it's a pretty competitive situation right now. I know Coach Udy, is doing a good job of continually evaluating that group. Thinking about some of the defenders, I know Bryce Grebe is in a lot of different places on that special teams unit. Cole Taylor's a guy that's not playing much defense, but really making his mark on the special teams side of things. So, special teams matter. Special teams can make a difference, and our guys really understand that. So whether a guy's a starter that's maybe playing on one unit or a backup, and a guy like Cole that's playing on the scout team on defense, but then he's on 2-3 units, really making an impact, and everything in between. Our guys really value those opportunities.
Yeah, it's cool to watch that stage of opportunity, right? Like a guy gets on the travel roster, and then a guy gets an opportunity to go in as a 2 or 3, and then he gets the opportunity as special teams, and it's it is fun to watch that slow progression for a guy.
Absolutely, and you get out there and you get to feel all the feels, right? If you're on a special teams play, and sometimes those are huge plays, huge swings in the game, and I think it does allow you to break through. And our preparation is pretty significant when it comes to learning those special teams and being able to go out there and execute. So I do think you're from a preparation standpoint, it teaches you a lot there too. And making a play when the lights are on, whether it's special teams, offense, or defense, really it's all the same. So when a guy can go out there and make a play, the confidence that that he gains, but then the coaches gain in him and teammates gain in him. It's hard to quantify what that means for a young player.
Yeah, it's fun to watch, and certainly those plays are going to mean a lot as these games start to tighten up as we get into Big Sky play starting this weekend. All right, so we've got our player guests coming up next. We're going to talk to Colson Coon, and then we're talking to Paul Brott after that. But first, we're taking a break from Buffalo Wild Wings. This is Cat Chat, presented by Learfield.
Ready to build your brand? Think Inc. outside the box for your complete branding solutions. Located in Bozeman, Montana, we offer a full print shop for banners, signs, wraps, trade show booths and graphics, promotional products, and much more. If you can think it, we can ink it. We are a proud supporter and corporate sponsor of the MSU Bobcats. Like us on Facebook to see some of our cat wraps. Ready to build your brand? Think Inc. and call us at 406-922-6462 or visit us on the web at inkoutside.com.
Town & Country Foods is a proud supporter of Bobcat Athletics. As a locally owned company, we believe the benefit of buying local helps support the local economies in southwest Montana. Our stores offer great selections of items you need every day, including organics, specialty foods, fresh meats and produce, along with incredible selections from our bakery and deli departments. Town & Country Foods is 100% employee-owned and serves southwest Montana with 8 locations. Visit your local Town & Country Foods today. Go Cats!
Revelry is your neighborhood eatery, here to serve a wholesome and savory palate that celebrates Montana roots with fresh, locally sourced ingredients. We revel in a natural and energetic habitat that livens any day. We serve Bozeman's best pizzas, sandwiches, pastas, and salads in a comfortable environment with 2 amazing patios. We love hosting Bobcats old and new. Check us out at 24 North Tracy or online at revelrymt.com. Go Cats, go!
Ambient Air Solutions wants to take a moment to show our gratitude and to say thank you. Thank you to our frontline workers. Thank you to our doctors, nurses, and EMTs. Thank you to all the volunteers. And thank you to the Gallatin County community. Ambient Air Solutions is so grateful for your support for over 12 years. We are so blessed to live in such a beautiful place. Ambient Air Solutions is here for all your heating and cooling needs. Call us at 406-577-1818 to schedule your service today. Ambient Air Solutions, simplifying heating and cooling.
When a power line has fallen down, it can be downright dangerous and even deadly. That's because downed lines can still energize the ground and objects around them. To help keep you and others safe, Northwestern Energy says stay at least 35 feet or the length of a semi-truck away from a downed power line and anything the line is touching. You should always assume the line is live, and if you see a downed line, immediately call 911 and warn others. Northwestern Energy, delivering a bright future.
Hi, former Bobcat Big Lou Salcedo from Wrestler Chevrolet here. Our team proudly supports MSU football both on the field and on the road. Serving the Bobcat community since 1999, we've got what you need. From the powerful heavy-duty Silverado to the top-of-the-line High Country Suburban. Visit our showroom or check us out online at WrestlerChevy.com. Together, let's drive a Wrestler Chevrolet. Community born, community driven. We'll meet you at the tailgate.
Back from Buffalo Wild Wings, we're at Cat Chat. We are getting ready to talk to Colson Coon, but before we do, let's pause 10 seconds for our network station identification. This is Cat Chat.
XL Country, 100.7, KXLB Churchill, Bozeman, Belgrade. Also in Livingston, on translator K254AL.
We are back live at Buffalo Wild Wings for Cat Chat. I want to remind you that it's almost Catterday, Bobcats, and it's time to gear up for another season of football. If you bleed blue and gold, then get game day ready with MSU Bookstore, the only not-for-profit university bookstore cooperative that has the largest selection of Bobcat gear around. Shop with us on campus at Bobcat Stadium on game day and 24/7 at msubookstore.org. We're going to talk to Paul Brott in a little bit, but first we are joined by Colson Coon, who scored a touchdown this week, first of his career. Sheridan native. Colson, how we doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Happy to have you up here, and congrats. First career touchdown, first career 100-yard game. Had to feel pretty good, huh?
Yeah, it was a pretty surreal feeling. It was awesome.
Yeah. What's it like particularly scoring in that Sonny Holland end zone, too?
Oh, that was amazing. Looking in the student section was pretty cool. Everybody's cheering, and it got me really hyped up. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah. You ever see any of your classmates in there? You're like, oh, hey, by the way, share your notes on accounting.
No, I didn't.
No, but no, that's pretty cool. It was pretty loud. It was pretty fired up, and looked like it was a pretty big hole to run through too.
Oh yeah, I barely had to do any work. I mean, the O-line just opened it right up. I didn't even get touched. I just ran down the sideline and ran in the end zone, and I'm getting the glory for it. But, man, the O-line did everything to break me free, so that was awesome.
Yeah, we've seen some big holes, and I know Connor Moore's here, so he's going to report back, make sure that you let the offensive line get their flowers. So always somebody watching. But, no, I mean, a long time coming for you. We've seen you get some of your opportunities. I mean, for you, going through the red shirt, now a redshirt freshman and getting some regular run in some of those later games. What's it like when you finally get out on that field and the lights are bright late in the game?
It's everything you dream of. I mean, that's what you're working for, is to get out on that field and to finally be out there and be putting in the work, and to see that work kind of come back to you. Like, it's pretty cool, and it's like you're looking at all the stands and you're just like, wow, I'm really out on the field right now. It's pretty awesome.
Right. Now your brother Garrett Coon was here for a while. He transferred over to South Dakota, but how often were you coming up to see some of his games?
I pretty much came up to every game when I was in high school to watch him, like every weekend, because my family would make the trip. It's not that far of a drive from my hometown, so we came up every weekend we could.
Yeah, and now you're the guy down there under the lights.
Yeah.
Yeah. How's your brother doing? He transferred over to South Dakota?
He had a really good fall camp. He unfortunately got hurt towards the end of it, but I know he's making his recovery pretty quick. He's supposed to be back to playing, I think, either this week, next week, or the week after, so pretty soon.
Yeah, good. Exciting for him. Hopefully they get going, and South Dakota's having a nice year. They're among the tops in the nation, so rooting for him to have some good stretch. For you, you kind of mentioned just all that hard work to get out on the field. We kind of touched on it with Coach Vigen, too. I mean, what's it like for some of the true freshman guys when you think about last year, where it's so much work day in and day out, and you don't have the reward of playing, and everybody's really coming off great high school careers. I mean, what is that like? What is that camaraderie like? Like, how do you guys stay focused when you don't have the payoff of the game?
You just kind of got to put your nose down and get to work and just trust the process, really. It gets hard down there on scout team, and sometimes people lose their motivation or their confidence. But I think just having your knowing your brothers are out there with you too, and knowing they're going through the same thing, and just putting your nose down, getting to work, and trusting the process, like you'll get to where you need to be.
Yeah. Does it help to have a guy like a Ryan Lenort, who was a walk-on and a guy who made his name on special teams, to see that like proof of concept?
Yeah, that's also a confidence booster. I mean, seeing people that have been in the position I am and seeing the success they've produced today, it definitely helps me know that I can do the same thing and go out there and produce the type of things that he does. So, yeah.
Yeah, so getting some production up there. Not quite the same production you were putting up in high school, though. Although, I don't know, really offenses aren't putting up that same production. I mean, the semifinal game, I feel like you know this question was coming. Yeah, I mean, the semifinal game you had in high school, over 500 rushing yards. I mean, that's obscene. What was that day like?
Man, that was crazy. It was just kind of that game was a battle. It was back and forth, and again, just like my touchdown this last Saturday, the O-line was doing everything. I was just basically making one person miss and then scoring a touchdown. I mean, I don't know. O-line was very good that day.
Yeah.
Defense didn't stand a chance.
Yeah, and once you kind of get to that second level, if you just have to make the one move, you're kind of good to go.
Yeah.
I mean, did you know you had rushed for that quite that much?
At halftime, I didn't know at halftime, and then we came out, and the announcer was announcing the stats, and I had like 330 at halftime, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's crazy!" And yeah.
But at a certain point, the stats don't really matter if you lose the game.
Yeah, no, we had to win, and we did win barely. I mean, we won by like a touchdown and a field goal. So like their team was playing good too. They were still in the game. It was a close game, but we ended up coming out on top. So.
Yeah, that's a pretty wild shootout to go through.
Yeah.
Now you won a lot of games there, and you were a great wrestler in high school too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple good stretch runs there.
Yeah, I won state senior year. Should have won it my junior and sophomore year, but I choked.
I mean, it happens. At least you got to go out on top. You know, when you think about just like championship seasons, both personal and through through the football season, that sort of thing, like what sticks out? Like what are some of those like championship qualities that can kind of pay dividends that you see there that you need at the college level and to win championships here too?
I think just like the brotherhood we had, and I think the brotherhood we have here is second to none. Like, just having like people there, everybody supporting everybody. Everybody wants everybody to do great. Nobody's getting jealous, and everybody's competing. Like they're pushing each other to be better and competing for spots. I think those qualities and just like understanding that no matter like understanding your role. And something that our high school coach would allude to a lot is not all roles are equal, but all roles have equal value. And just kind of understanding your role and doing your role to the best of your ability helps the team overall. And that I think those were the main things that helped us be such a dominant program. And I think that can transfer over into college, just knowing your role. And that's part of being on scout team and understanding the process, trusting the process. So.
Yeah, well, that's a nice pipeline coming up from Sheridan, too, so whatever they're teaching you is right.
Yeah.
I mean, Dane Steele, Coy Steele, Brock Steele, all those guys coming up. Sam Leckalot over on the basketball team, winning 3 rings over there, too. It's got to be fun to have a kind of a Sheridan flag planted over here.
Yeah, no, it's pretty cool. You see some familiar faces, and Dane's my best friend growing up, so him being on the team, that is awesome. So I couldn't be more excited to have them up here. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun. You know, you kind of mentioned just the competition within position groups and that sort of thing, and trying to get each other better. I mean, what is that like when you know a guy is technically competing for the same reps that you're trying to get on game day, but still you guys are trying to see the same thing and you're trying to improve each other? Like what is that like? I mean, is it a hard thing to put out of your mind for some people?
I think it can be, but I think we do a great job understanding that there needs to be competition and you need to push each other, and understanding that it's not all about you. It's about making the team better and doing what you can for the team. But yeah, I think the competition within rooms, it's pretty high competition. But I think we also do an amazing job supporting each other, and we're still so, like, the first two people when I scored my touchdown were Adam and Scott Trey Humphrey. They're jumping all over me on the sideline. They're the most excited guys for me. So I think that's something really cool to see. And it was a pretty cool feeling.
Yeah. Well, I imagine you've seen some in Jared White, too, who's a guy who's really explosive, but maybe hasn't as quite as much run. As everybody wants to play as much as you can, but I imagine you see some of that in Jared White, too.
Yeah. No, he's also an amazing supporter, and he is pushing me to be the best I can be while we're also all pushing each other. So he's one of the biggest supporters, and he's always giving me my kudos and whatnot. So
yeah, love that. All right, I do want to touch on just kind of how you got here. I know you were originally going to go down to Mississippi State, right? So were you going to be a preferred walk-on, or what were you looking at?
I was going to be a preferred walk-on down there.
Yeah.
And then Coach Leach had passed away, and then they ended up pulling that preferred walk-on. And I knew Garrett was up here, and it was close to home, and I really love the coaches here, and I really love the community, and so that's kind of how I ended up coming up here. So
yeah, it's a sad situation for sure with Coach Leach passing, but why initially make that decision? Why go the big SEC route like that on a walk-on spot?
I think just thinking back on my younger self, if I wouldn't have tried to take that opportunity, I would have been mad at myself. Like that, I think that's something you can't really pass up, and that's like a dream come true, like SEC football.
Yeah. It's SEC football.
NFL and then SEC football.
Yeah.
So.
And there's more people at SEC games than NFL games.
So that's kind of why I really wanted to go there. I really just kind of wanted to shoot my shot, however it worked out. But
yeah, just didn't work there. But yeah, no, I mean it's an interesting thing when you do have that chance. So once that did come back, I mean, so was it just kind of full go at Montana State, or were you looking elsewhere too?
No, it was pretty much full go at Montana State.
Yeah. Rock and roll. And so what are you studying now?
I'm in kinesiology, exercise science.
Okay, cool. So a lot of science classes and
we're
to learn how the body works.
Yep. I'm trying.
And how's your brother Coy doing?
Coy?
Sorry, I was talking about the Steels. We already talked about Garrett, but we got the Steels. We talked about those guys. So sorry, I got all my Sherry guys mixed up. But final thing I want to ask about is just Sam Nix. I mean, a lot of guys have talked about what he's seeing. I mean, what does he see in terms of vision and how you guys are able to kind of improve in that regard?
I think he does a really good job kind of knowing where the run fit is, and he explains it very well to us, and he helps us kind of see it from his point of view as well, and like kind of not going to where the hole is right now, but where maybe it's going to be when we get there, and just understanding the blocking scheme up front. He does a really good job explaining that to us and where we should be hitting the holes at. So
yeah, that's got to be kind of a weird piece of faith when you're trying to hit a hole that's not there.
Yeah. That's another thing. So running through the smoke, we also allude to that in special teams a lot. Running through the smoke, it might look cloudy, it might not look like there's anything there, but if you hit it and you hit it right, you'll be able to burst through and just squirt right on through. So
yeah, like running through platform in 9 3/4 in Harry Potter. You just got to trust. If I've got enough belief, I'm going to get through.
Yep.
Yeah, that's an intense thing, but it's certainly fun to watch when it does work. And now we are off into Big Sky play. Excited to get this thing going in Big Sky play.
Yeah, no, that's pretty exciting. Hopefully we can keep continuing the success that we've had so far and get to where we want to be. So.
Yeah, here we go. They really start counting now if you want to win a Big Sky championship. Looking forward to it. Well, Colson, appreciate the time and the insight today, and good luck out there.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, Colson Coon. We're taking a break. When we get back, we've got Paul Brott joining us on Cat Chat, presented by Learfield.
The roar of the crowd, the thunder of thousands of fans stomping their feet as the Bobcats take the field. For Mary, her chronic hip pain kept her from the thrill of her favorite pastime. Thanks to the revolutionary orthopedic care from Bozeman's local orthopedic groups and the Bozeman Health Spine and Joint Institute, Mary was back on her feet and back in the game. If chronic spine and joint pain is keeping you from the activities you love, start your journey by visiting bozemanhealth.org/SJI.
Bobcat fans, support both your favorite team and Montana State students. When you shop at MSU bookstores, you help lower the price of course materials for Montana State students. MSU Bookstore is owned by MSU students and faculty and serves as the only not-for-profit campus bookstore in Montana. Shop online at msubookstore.org, at Bobcat Stadium on game days, or on campus in the Strand Union Building. Remember, Bobcat fans, when you shop at MSU Bookstore, all proceeds from your purchase go directly to lowering the cost of course materials for Montana State students.
Hey, Bobcat fans, want to make a real difference in the lives of Montana State student athletes? The Bobcat Collective is your chance to do just that. By joining as a member or becoming a business partner, you're directly supporting our athletes through NIL opportunities, helping them succeed both on and off the field. Whether you're an individual looking to become a member or a business ready to partner with us, every contribution empowers our Bobcats to reach their full potential. Visit BobcatCollective.com to learn more and sign up today. Together, we can elevate our athletes and the entire Bobcat community. Go Cats, go!
Northern States Fishing Tools, a proud sponsor of the Montana State Bobcats, has been serving the eastern Montana and western North Dakota oil fields since 1978. We are here to provide you with the best tools and services, all at competitive prices. Northern States Fishing Tools services the Williston Basin with fishing and rental tools, along with downhole tools that include packers, plugs, and through tubing equipment. We have the expert knowledge to give you satisfying results based on your specific needs. Go Bobcats!
When I was using, I spent half my time worried about running out of pills and the other half hiding my addiction, hiding from judgment, hiding from everything. I OD'd right there. My pills were laced with fentanyl. Narcan and my son saved my life. He found me and called 911. After that, I got treatment.
Learn more at helpsavelivesmt.org. A message from Montana Department of Public Health and Human Services.
Guys, it's buy one, get one free boneless wings every Thursday at Buffalo Wild Wings, and guess what?
You're gonna be a dad.
What? No, it's Boneless Thursdays, which means free boneless wings.
You'd be a great dad.
Okay, enough.
Buy one, get one free boneless wings every Thursday only at Buffalo Wild Wings. To the greatest of all times. Buy one boneless wings at regular price. Get one of equal value free at participating locations for a limited time. While supplies last. Limit one, not valid with other offers. Size exclusions may apply. Delivery and takeout available at participating locations through Buffalo Wild Wing website or app. Fees, including service fees, may apply.
Preparation is the key to success on game day. And like your favorite Bobcats on the field, you need to be ready right from the opening kickoff. Cenex has your pregame routine covered. We've got your salty snacks, your sweet treats, ice-cold beverages to wash them down, and fresh tanks of propane to fire up the grill. Fuel your fandom at your local Cenex station. Bobcat Pride, powered locally.
We are back live at Buffalo Wild Wings for Cat Chat. We are getting ready for Big Sky play to start this weekend. 4 o'clock is the kickoff. We'll be on the air at 3 p.m. with Leo Davis, Dan Davies, and Dylan McPhail for the broadcast. But we are joined now by a legacy name, Paul Brott. Paul, how we doing? How we feeling?
Feeling great. How are you?
I'm good, man.
That's
Thanks
good.
For spending some of your Wednesday night with us.
Oh, of course. Free food. I'll do it.
Yeah, no doubt. Did you get your order in? You know what you're getting already?
Yes, sir.
What'd you get?
Chicken Caesar wrap. Trying to eat a little more healthy.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's going to have enough calories, though, for you, right?
Yeah, we got some more food at home, too.
Okay,
Nothing to worry about.
So this is basically a snack.
Yeah.
Connor looks personally offended that you would get chicken Caesar wrap.
I know. He wanted me to do the blazing challenge, but I wasn't for it.
No. We don't need no blazing challenges in season. We don't know how that's going to react.
No, yeah.
Connor's legitimately upset. He'll be all right. He'll be okay. That leads me to one of my favorite lineman questions. We pretty much ask every lineman is, what's your go-to like high caloric food? What do you got to be crushing to make sure that you keep the weight up as a defensive tackle?
Oh, my goodness. So back when I was living with Zach Black, me and him used to do like a whole pound of beef, and then we'd have probably 4 cups of rice with it, and it was like just a plate full. It was a mash. It was terrible, but yeah, that's a go-to right there.
Yeah, just crushing the beef and the rice.
Oh yeah, I'll keep it on you.
Yeah, the seasoning at that point, it just doesn't really matter. It's just got to go down.
No, just eat it. Yeah.
Well, it seems to be working. You're into a rhythm. Had a TFL this week, kind of getting going. I mean, you've dealt with a lot of injuries. How are you feeling physically right now?
I feel great, the best I've ever felt, As long as I stay out of those crutches and braces, I feel good to go.
Yeah.
It's great to be back out there with my buddies, so yeah.
Yeah, what was that mental grind like, just not having an opportunity to get out there and just all the rehab?
So we talk about 1-0 mentality. So once I didn't look at the bigger picture and I'll take it day by day and see my little progresses or my little achievements, that's what kept me going. I just didn't think, I'm stuck in this rut. Just keep going day by day, better and better.
Yeah, that's the way you got to do it. It sounds really cliche, but it also sounds really impactful because everybody keeps bringing it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, good. Did you go 1-0 today?
I did, yeah.
All right. I like to hear it. And
went to class, yeah.
Went to class, got to practice, got
Yeah.
your food in, and now knocking out Cat Chat.
Yeah.
All right, I like it. Tell me a little bit about your relationship with Blake Schmidt too. We've had him on the show. He said you guys had gone out, you and your brother and him, and got some fishing in and whatnot. What's your relationship with Blake like?
He's like a brother to me. Me and him, we've done a lot of things together. Like when it was winter and we were in winter conditioning, we would go over to Bozeman Beach when it was like 10 at night, and we'd just go in that pond. Just
Oh,
to
really?
See, yeah, we try to push each other and everything.
So some true cold dips in the 10 degrees Bozeman Pond.
Yeah, see which one of us would crack first. We're always trying to push each other, and like I'm saying, we do love eating food, We'll during the summer, he would always come over and we would make some steaks or something, try something new, but
yeah. He told us too that it was your brother that kind of delivered one of his more humbling moments when he first kind of got here, just got put on his back seat. Does he ever kind of like try to one up you and show that, maybe take some of his aggression out that he had for your older brother on you? The older brother, little brother vibe?
He doesn't try to, but if he wants to, he definitely could. You know what I'm saying? But no, yeah, me and him, we'll get in some tussles every now and then.
Yeah, that's the way it goes. Keeps the competitive spirit up. Well, how are your brothers doing? I mean, they both played here a long time, Mitch and Wilson. How are they doing? They enjoying watching you out there on Saturdays now?
Oh, yeah, they love it. I mean, Mitch, he misses it every day. Every time I see him, he talks about it. And then Wilson, he's got a wife right now. He actually lives in Bozeman, so they both love going out there. It brings back great memories. They are very mad at me for having a BAC in the great facility. And the ring and everything.
Right. Yeah. Well, and you'll be able to practice in an indoor facility hopefully here next year at some point.
Yeah.
So
they called me soft. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, that's fine, man. They can call you whatever you want. You're the one out there. They're not.
Yeah.
What are some of the things they talk about missing the most? Like, that's got to put something into perspective for you when there's somebody kind of on the other side of it, and it helps maybe you have some of that extra gratitude. What are some of the things they miss the most?
So I try to balance what both of those two say, because Mitch is the devil and Wilson's the angel. And Mitch, what he misses most is hitting people. He misses the violence of it, and Wilson tells me he misses the locker room. He misses being around his buddies every day. So I try to have a mix of it, like, hey, I may not get to hit this kid again tomorrow or something, and then I go back in the locker room and I see Connor smashing his breakfast burrito. I'm like, hey, you don't get to see that every day. So a little love of both.
There it is, Connor. You're gonna be in Paul's memories, crushing breakfast burritos for years to come. Tell me a little bit more about the violence of it too. I mean, as somebody who never played on the line, never played high-level football, I mean, when you guys are in that mass, when they're running the football, they're running the football. They know they're running the football. I mean, what is it like in some of those big like rugby scrum piles? How do you protect yourself? How do you go out and be effective in those moments?
The best thing you can do is just knock them back. You just got to be lower than them, work harder than them, and move them as fast as you can. Have your hands set, feet always moving, and just try to have a stronger mentality than them.
Yeah, so just hand set, being you got to go straight into it, kind of like running into that smoke.
Be the better man, yeah.
Yeah, that's intense. It's got to be kind of one of those mental grinds, too. When you're tired late in the game, maybe you're feeling banged up, you still got to be able to do that.
Oh, yeah, but that's the best part of it. I mean, we have Coach Heron getting us up. Well, we're getting up, going to a 6 a.m. lift, and he has a surprise conditioning for us, and he's just always toughening our mental, so when we're out there in that moment, it doesn't seem as stressful as it really is. We're ready for it.
Yeah, that's a thing. I mean, if he makes you run harder unsurprised at 6 a.m., you feel that like mental training in those moments?
Yeah, that's adversity striking. So you gotta rise up to the occasion, and you can see the people that back down. But once you rise up and you tackle that, like, I have this under my belt for another occasion like this.
Yeah. You see the freshmen backing down a little bit that first time when they start burning into it?
Some of them, yeah, but then there's others that rise up. Like you were talking about Dane Steele. I think we did a yo-yo test, so that's beeps, and you just keep running and running and running. I think he was second behind Tommy Millott.
Oh, wow.
So
yeah, that's no joke.
Yeah, he puts in some work.
Yeah. What about Talon Marsh? He got a TFL this week. Obviously had the illustrious career up in Helena and whatnot, but fun to see him getting some run. What's he looking like in practice?
Oh, my goodness. He's a very hard worker. Like that. Now, that's Khabib's little brother. Talon's attached to his hip. Khabib's mama cub, but it's awesome seeing him work. He's put on so much weight. He's worked so hard, and he lives for it. I mean, when his first gold rush running out there, I've never seen a kid that happy before.
Looking light on his feet when he's getting out there on that. All right, well, we're coming up here on Big Sky Play down to Idaho State. The Protmobile making the trip down there?
Oh, yeah. I had my mom bugging me about tickets all week, wanted me to get more tickets for her friends, but I think they're getting an RV and bringing a bunch of people, so it'll be a party.
Yeah, I like it. All right, Protmobile, you guys feel good about that nickname?
Yeah, I bet my mom will like it. I'll tell her about it.
Okay, yeah, you guys can use that. I don't know, it just rhymes.
Yeah.
I like brats. I'm from the Midwest.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty tasty.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're getting ready to go and down to Idaho State and into Holt Arena or ICCU Dome now, but what are some of the things you guys need to be successful against this Idaho State team as we get into conference play?
We just need to attack. We need to play at the level that we know we can play at and play fundamentally sound. We don't need to be going out of our way trying to do someone else's job. Just stay in our fit and work our technique, and we'll be just fine.
Keep the hands set, keep the feet moving, and just be the stronger man.
Yes, sir.
All right, I like it. Well, looking forward to it. Looking forward to seeing the Brotmobile down there and looking forward to conference play. Paul Brott, appreciate the time.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, we're taking a break. When we come back, we'll dive into this matchup with the Bengals after this timeout. You're listening to Cat Chat presented by Learfield.
Town & Country Foods is a proud supporter of Bobcat Athletics. As a locally owned company, we believe the benefit of buying local helps support the local economies in southwest Montana. Our stores offer great selections of items you need every day, including organics, specialty foods, fresh meats and produce, along with incredible selections from our bakery and deli departments. Town & Country Foods is 100% employee-owned and serves southwest Montana with 8 locations. Visit your local Town & Country Foods today. Go Cats!
Ready to build your brand? Think Inc. outside the box for your complete branding solutions. Located in Bozeman, Montana, we offer a full print shop for banners, signs, wraps, trade show booths and graphics, promotional products, and much more. If you can think it, we can. We are a proud supporter and corporate sponsor of the MSU Bobcats. Like us on Facebook to see some of our cat wraps. Ready to build your brand? Think Inc. and call us at 406-922-6462 or visit us on the web at inkoutside.com.
Ambient Air Solutions wants to take a moment to show our gratitude and to say thank you. Thank you to our frontline workers. Thank you to our doctors, nurses, and EMTs. Thank you to all the volunteers. And thank you to the Gallatin County community. Ambient Air Solutions is so grateful for your support for over 12 years. We are so blessed to live in such a beautiful place. Ambient Air Solutions is here for all your heating and cooling needs. Call us at 406-577-1818 to schedule your service today. Ambient Air Solutions, simplifying heating and cooling.
When a power line has fallen down, it can be downright dangerous and even deadly. That's because downed lines can still energize the ground and objects around them. To help keep you and others safe, Northwestern Energy says stay at least 35 feet or the length of a semi-truck away from a downed power line and anything the line is touching. You should always assume the line is live, and if you see a downed line, immediately call 911 and warn others. Northwestern Energy, delivering a bright future.
Hi, former Bobcat Big Lou Salcedo from Wrestler Chevrolet here. Our team proudly supports MSU football both on the field and on the road. Serving the Bobcat community since 1999, we've got what you need. From the powerful heavy-duty Silverado to the top-of-the-line High Country Suburban. Visit our showroom or check us out online at WrestlerChevy.com. Together, let's drive a Wrestler Chevrolet. Community born, community driven. We'll meet you at the tailgate.
Revelry is your neighborhood eatery, here to serve a wholesome and savory palate that celebrates Montana roots with fresh, locally sourced ingredients. We revel in a natural and energetic habitat that livens any day. We serve Bozeman's best pizzas, sandwiches, pastas, and salads in a comfortable environment with 2 amazing patios. We love hosting Bobcats old and new. Check us out at 24 North Tracy or online at revelrymt.com. Go Cats, go!
are back one final time on Cat Chat as we get set for Big Sky play opening up this weekend at Idaho State, which leads us into our look ahead presented by Vance Thompson Vision. It's Montana State and Idaho State haven't played in 2 years, have not been down there since 2018. But this is a very different looking Idaho State team. So Cody Hawkins is the head coach. Second year over there. Dan Hawkins, former head coach at UC Davis. He's over there on the staff as well. But the throwing Idahoans, they are throwing the football around right now, huh, Coach?
Yeah, they did last year with a lot of success, and they did establish a little bit of a run game, more so this past game than they had. And so I know there's an attempt to get the run game going as well, but they want to throw it, and they want to throw it a lot, and they have some really good receivers to throw the ball to, and they're playing pretty well at quarterback right now.
Yeah, so they went through a heck of a quarterback kind of competition here. They played 4 quarterbacks in the game against Oregon State in week 1. Kobe Tracy is the guy who's kind of won it out. He was the transfer from Utah Tech, so he played for Utah Tech last year. But they are running a 2-quarterback system. Sounds like Hunter Hayes was going to be kind of the number 2 AB all year long. But how are they running Kobe Tracy, Hunter Hayes, and how are they mixing those 2 guys up?
Well, it would seem like, just looking at this past game in particular, they want to use Hunter Hayes situationally, which could be, 3rd and short, 4th and short, red zone, those type of things. He's got the capability to throw. He played most of the second half against North Dakota, so he's got pretty good throwing stats right now, but it's primarily as a runner, and then Kobe Tracy is going to be throwing, and he's going to be a thrower. He's going to be a pocket passer, and then he's done a pretty good job of that so far.
You mentioned the ground game. Now, they got a little beat up on the offensive line going into this last game. They moved a couple guys around, and they still ended up rushing for more yards than they had passing yards. Their highest, most prolific rushing game since 2022. And this kid, Dason Brooks, number 28, switched over from linebacker, went for 136 yards and 8 carries. I mean, what did you see in how they kind of finally got this running game going?
Well, he's a big dude and can move a little bit. So he popped a big run. I think
75 yards.
Yeah, and it was right after Southern Utah really cut the game they cut it to a 1-score game, and that was the first play of that next series. And it was an impressive run because there was speed involved, and he is he's 225, and he's all of that. And then he had another long run in there where he's just running through arm tackles too. So. They've played 3-4 running backs, but he seems like he's maybe settled in as I don't know if he's their main guy necessarily, but he's been their most prolific to this point. So he's definitely a guy we need to stop. And I would say that there's absolutely going to be an effort for them to get the run game going.
On the defensive side, they've got a couple of guys up front, the 3-man front. Number 25, Cortland Horton. I know he didn't get a ton of run in that last game, but he's really good on the outside. David Rao in the middle. Logan George, who's from Pocatello, he's on the other side. Looks like they've got some really athletic guys out of those 3 who are playing a lot of snaps for them.
Yeah, it really starts with those 2 ends, Horton and George. Those guys I think have combined for like 8 sacks at this point. They're both big physical guys that can run too at the same time. So. I think for them to be effective, those 2 have to be playing well, and they have to this point. And they have a whole host of linebackers in a 3-3-5 and safeties that are big physical guys that tackle well. They've done a good job of disrupting both the run and the pass game to this point. Ultimately we're going to have to find some cracks in that run game, and hopefully we can dial up some passes at the same time.
Yeah, here we go. And the other part they had too, they held Southern Utah 0 for 4 on 4th down conversions. What did you see in how they got some of those key stops?
Well, they just bowed up, and those were situations early enough in that game that really allowed them to open that lead up because they were deep into Idaho State's territory, and then they were able to stop them short. Southern Utah's a run-oriented team, and on each one of those sequences, they were able to just shut them down and get the ball going the other direction.
All right, well, it's going to be a lot of fun. Big Sky play is here, Coach. Let's get it done.
Yeah, excited for it. Hope to see a good crowd of Bobcats down there in Pocatello.
No doubt. All right, 4 o'clock kick. We're on the air at 3 o'clock for Montana State and Idaho State on Saturday. Thank you, Colson, Coon, and Paul Brott, for joining us today. Trevor Nominuk has been our producer back in the studios. For head coach Brent Vigen, I'm Keaton Gillogly saying so long, go Cats, and we'll talk again next week. This has been Cat Chat presented by Learfield.
You've been listening to Cat Chat with head football coach Brent Vigen. Brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings, the official home of Cat Chat, every Wednesday night at 6:30. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation of the Bobcats Sports Network.